Hello, my name is Brandon, and welcome to Retro Reactions, a place where I experience amazing music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s for the very first time. And today we're going to be traveling all the way back to 1984 to listen to The Gap by Thompson Twins. This is one of my favorite bands from the 80s. I love several songs from them, but shamefully I've never delved into their full albums, so let's change that right now. Here we go.
In a strange land, one of 40 feet, I see for the first time just what you believe. I go down to the market, right you by yourself, and I listen to the chanting. In the back streets, there for all the world to leave. See this begging for attention, well, it's all the same to me. Well, I will ask permission, not from teachers or from kings, 'cause I can see for myself all the pain that you will bring. When you say east is east, west is west, two different rhythms to the rap. We say break the line, chew the fat, keep moving out into the gap. Yeah!
Oh, wow. Whew. I'm gonna have to rewind that part, because whatever's starting is going to be epic. I mean, this song is already epic. Wow. I'm loving these Middle Eastern elements in this song. And they're not very subtle, you know. They're really forefront and guiding the song along. It's just a perfect pairing of synthpop and world music, Middle Eastern music, and simply amazing. I've written two songs that have also Middle Eastern style to them, so this one's really hitting close to home. The percussion is unbelievable. There's so much going on, so many different instruments. I would love to see the list of what percussion instruments were used. I'm sure a lot of them are Eastern-based instruments, and again, going on all around my head. I just love that. Definitely lots of synth pop here, which they're known for. Lots of great keyboard work I'm hearing. I notice on the right channel a really distant keyboard that's kind of adding just another dark element, you know, slowly rising and falling. I'll have to go back and listen for that. But elements like that, along with his voice, which I've already loved forever, just make the song amazing because, you know, I noticed there's one line where he could take it to this certain note, and it should go to the certain note, but he does probably a half step to give it that darker Middle Eastern feel, or just that darker feel, and I absolutely love things like that. Bass is amazing. They always have great bass in their songs. I'm thinking of Hold Me Now, which is really killer bass line, very prominent. And lastly, the chorus, the voices going on, full stereo voices on both channels, amazing. I don't know if it's the other two band members, or I don't think it's all Tom. I don't know if it's backup vocalist, but I'm guessing it's the other two, Joe Leeway, Alana Curie. Always loved them since I was a kid, but this song is just blowing me away because it's typical Thompson Twins, but with that Middle Eastern world vibe just stacked right on top of it heavily, and loving it. So let's finish it off.
Chew the fat, keep moving out into the gap. Yeah!
Harmonies, okay. Wow. Incredible. Well, that was one of the coolest songs from the 80s I think I've ever heard. And just right up my alley in every sense of the word, in every element. I already love this band, but to hear a song like this, I mean, shame on me for waiting 39 years to listen to it from when it was released. But anyway, that's how it goes. I get to discover these gems here on the channel. So, oh, that solo, absolutely incredible. Perfect example of such a different type of solo. I'm used to these amazing guitar solos that I'm being spoiled with Pink Floyd, Genesis, and etc. Even Genesis keyboard solos. But this one was so different. You know, it was very simple, yet still very impactful and epic, just by the melody, the simple short melody that they were repeating and delivering to me. So absolutely incredible. Main chorus, so catchy. Love that. Went perfect with the beat of the song. I heard voices going on in the center, like shouting. I'm not really sure, but just kind of enhanced it, lifted up the song, which is already high. But again, the chorus just brought it up even more. So love that. And then at the end of the song, as it was fading out, as they were doing the final choruses, they just put on that solo part, you know, the Middle Eastern solo part. And I love when choruses at the end add extra elements to just heighten it. We've seen that a lot on this channel. We see that a lot in music, and that just, you know, I kept going higher and higher. You know, from the beginning of the song, it was so impactful, and then just hearing the whole vibe of the song. Then they lifted it up with the chorus, lifted it up again with that solo, and brought it up to the heights with that ending section just fading out into Middle Eastern synthpop glory. So, wow. Anyway, I'll calm down now. I'm going to go check out the lyrics. So on first read, it appears that the character in this song seems to be in a dream, waking up in a foreign land, a Middle Eastern land, and there's plenty of interesting scenes described here about, you know, roaming, seeing people going down the streets, and what he's experiencing there. So I love that. Of course, it ties perfectly with the music. To me, this last section has a much deeper meaning and is conveying a call for peace and unity in the world, it seems like, between races or just any type of different groups of people. Very relevant, always has been, was in 1984, is now, and always will be. So I think that's pretty powerful. And this line is kind of what brought me to that conclusion. And there's no need to be so frightened of all the figures in the night, 'cause we share the same emotions, and no one's wrong and no one's right. That says it all, you know. If only more people could live by that mantra, I mean, the world would be a much different place. I think we'd agree. But anyway, the whole thing was absolutely amazing. Chorus, east is east, west is west. Seems like, you know, they're talking about different countries. Again, can be applied that way or could be applied metaphorically to just two different groups of people. But the whole message seems very powerful, and the imagery very powerful and enchanting and just interesting. And that's what I love about the lyrics, not to mention all the great things I already said about the song. So perfect. A few facts about this song. It peaked at number 69 in the US, spending 6 weeks on the Billboard Hot 100 list. That's pretty impressive and interesting because, you know, I know Hold Me Now, their huge hit, was played on the radio, but I'd never heard this one on the radio. Not back then or not ever since then. So really interesting. It definitely was a single. So anyway, this whole album was recorded in 1983 in the Bahamas. Interesting. I don't think I've ever known an album to be recorded there. I didn't know a recording industry, you know, was big there, but who knows? Maybe it is now, maybe it was then, maybe it's always been, who knows? But anyway, kind of naive of me to think there's no recording studios there, but again, I just never heard that country come into play as far as making music and production of music, so very interesting. The album, which is also called Into the Gap, sold 5 million copies worldwide. Again, very impressive. I mean, I know they were huge back then. Now, not so much, but I know he still tours. Tom Bailey as a solo act. Saw him several years ago and just as amazing, just as impressive. But back then, I think they were everywhere for just a short while, and that explains the 5 million copies sold. Several great songs came from this album, it looks like, including two very popular ones. Number one being Hold Me Now, which is, I think, their biggest, most popular, well-known hit around the world. And the second one is my favorite Thompson Twins song, Doctor, Doctor. Amazing, brilliant song. Loved it since day one, since it came out. And lastly, apparently two of the songs on the album have a Latin and calypso influence. I think that's really interesting. You know, I love world music as well, and I appreciate that Tom Bailey had the insight and the creativity to include that and include those genres in this synth-pop album. Okay, so normally I would have probably given this song an amazing 5 golden records, but due to that Middle Eastern influence and genre that was fused amazingly with this synth-pop song, it's definitely getting the Epic Platinum Record Award. Thank you so much, Tom, Joe, and Alana, for this masterpiece. I would definitely call it a synth-pop masterpiece. So thank you so much, Thompson Twins, for taking me back to my childhood in 2 different ways. Number one, you know, going back and remembering being in love with this band, obsessing about them in '84 when this album came out and I was 9 years old, and just loving it and connecting with the synth-pop goodness even back then. And number 2, for taking me back to my songwriting days around 14, 15, 16 years old, when I was writing similar songs with also this Middle Eastern influence. So it just kind of sparked that memory and got me really excited as soon as the song started. So once again, thank you, Thompson Twins, Tom, Joe, Alana. I've always thought you were amazing. And I wish all 3 of you were together now touring, but at least Tom is touring and keeping these amazing songs alive. So really, really appreciate and happy about that. All right, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this song at least half as much as I did, because it absolutely hit me really, really hard in the best way possible. So anyway, appreciate your support. Thanks for staying till the end. And remember to let peace, calm, and light into your day or night. You take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time in the past.